Geno lived at the dorm the first 2 years at Assumption. The girl that he mostly was with seemed to try to straighten him out. She was a good influence, and I did want him to stay with her, and he did through his college years. We were taking him back to school. He was home for the weekend. And I saw him reach for something in his bureau drawer. So I said, "What's in your bag?" And he said, "What do you mean, what's in my bag?" I said, "Just tell me, what do you have?" And he said, "Mom, you know I take Percocet. You must know." And I said, "Yeah, I know you're taking something." I said, "Well, at least we got to give it to the school nurse." And he said, "Okay," reluctantly. And I went home and told my husband, and he said, "Just leave him alone. Let's just tell the personal trainer about it and see what he says." And, for some reason that never happened. He saved a girl one night. He was coming out of his girlfriend's dorm. He heard somebody screaming, and he ran down the hill towards the noise, and the girl was just like lying there, and Geno pulled the boy up and dragged him to the police station. At the wake, this girl, she told me her name, and I said, "Oh." She said at first, she said, Geno saved me. I was about to be sexually assaulted, and he saved me. And I said, he told me that. He could have just walked away and ignored it, but that made me feel good that he was strong enough emotionally and physically to do something. Graduation day was fun. It was festive. He was proud of himself. He ended up with good grades. He was proud of himself that he was co-captain of the hockey team. He just looked really proud of himself, even though he had some difficulties. He was at 21 years old, and, you have to let go at some point. Out of college, has a good job, went and saw where he was working, and he was there for a couple of years when he really started to screw up. He really started to mess up.